Hi and welcome back to the channel. So today I am having a bit of a preemptive strike as I have ordered a Roland GAIA 2 from Rubadub in Glasgow, and I have never bought anything from them yet, so that's quite good. They actually got a Scottish company because most of my gear normally comes from England. I got a really good deal on this, and I actually got it slightly cheaper because I got it off Reverb and they had an extra discount on Reverb. So it is now out of stock, unfortunately, but this is probably the kind of cheapest price that you could get it. When this came out, it was over £700 about 9 months ago. I think it came out about September 23ish. Normally kind of selling for around about 680 or something. And that's pretty good because I do need to buy something else as well to go with it. So I am going to get the Roland WC1 wireless adapter as well to go with it. So we'll have a quick look at this before it comes in. So I should be getting it in the next day or so. So I thought I'd just kind of do this first whilst I'm waiting on it and give you a bit of an idea about what the GAIA is all about. I mean, it does look quite similar to the original Minilog, and I'll put a screenshot up of the Minilog. So yeah, so it's anodized kind of aluminium case, and it's a lot better made than the original GAIA, which was all plastic. So it does look quite nice, I have to say. We'll switch over to Roland's website and we'll just get a bit more info on what it is all about. And obviously you can see it has this XY pad, which is possibly the best thing about it. I'm not sure, I haven't got it yet, but you can do a hell of a lot more with it than you kind of think. It is basically kind of knob per function, a bit of a read of the blurb from Roland, so no doubt it will be a bit over the top, but here we go. GAIA 2 opens the door to an infinite universe of inspired sound creation. Yeah. So armed with a powerful hybrid engine that combines wavetable and virtual analog synthesis. So that's quite unusual for Roland, because they don't have an awful lot. In fact, I think they've only got about one other bit of hardware that has actually wavetable synthesis, so it's a bit different. So you can quickly learn the basics before rocketing into uncharted sonic territory. Here we go. The friendly panel layout logically outlines the synthesis workflow for speedy sound design with full-size keys. Yeah, so it has full-size keys, and actually the keys are from the Juno X, apparently. So that's quite good because that costs about 1,400 quid. So while full-size keys provide exceptional playability when you're ready to perform, and with the sequencer and motional pad, it's easy to generate complex sounds and phrases full of dynamic movement and alter them on the fly, which is what I like doing. Discover the shape of sound with GAIA 2 and bring all your musical visions to life. So we'll skip the highlight, and I'm not going to play this because it's not the greatest sound demo. It'll probably put you off buying it, in fact. Do you speak synth? Well, to a certain extent. Unless you're talking about modular, then I don't. Right, so GAIA 2's new developed sound engine. So the GAIA 2 has a new sound engine. It's a bit like the Jupiter X and the Juno X, which is what I was looking at getting, but they were so bloody expensive I couldn't afford it. So the GAIA actually has a new sound engine developed specifically for this, and it puts a never-ending realm of tonal exploration under your fingers. Build familiar sounds inspired by past and present synth icons, then dive into unique phase and shape modulation tools to unleash cutting-edge textures with complex overtones that can't be expressed with traditional analog synths. So yeah, need something more extreme, just crank the drive knob in the multi-mode filter section for even more grit and power. Whatever you desire, from smooth tones reminiscent of vintage synths to edgy, biting leads to sci-fi soundscapes. Sci-fi soundscapes, that is just what we want to hear. Play a wee bit of the demo song by Gatobus, and just see what this is like. I can't remember. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these are just, well, try playing some of these. I couldn't really find that many that I liked. That, for instance, is not great. Let's try, have we got any pads? Here we go. MIDI piano, let's try this. Reverse pad. Like I said, these just don't really do it justice, because it does sound pretty amazing actually. It's chill steps pad. Yeah, floating pad. Yeah, it's just not the greatest sound demo, is it? Implementing the basic shapes we all know and love, the wavetable oscillator section. So it has, I think, about 63 wavetables, which is a random number. So GAIA 2 offers multiple waveforms, and you can jump or morph between them for everything from dramatic shift to slowly evolving textures. Adding the wavetable oscillator introduces contrasting textures into the mix. So we have got 2 virtual analogs as well. So GAIA 2 gives you the tools to recreate the most famous analog synths of all time. Twin virtual analog oscillators provide the building blocks of synthesis, enabling you to conjure past classics with complete authenticity, or head into the opposite direction and sculpt the tones of the future. Touch the sound. So it has a logical workflow. It makes sound creation fast, easy and fun. The one control per function panel, so is that like one knob per function is what they really mean. Layout enables instant programming without having to resort to menu diving, which we all really love doing. So see the sound. So got touch the sound, see the sound. What's the next one? Be the sound. No, it's not. Position front and center. The informative display shows the output audio waveform as well as the path of the motional pad's recorded movement. With just a glance, you've instantly grasped what's happening within the most complex of sounds. Roland expansions. This was one of the reasons that I was wanting to get a Roland specifically, because I haven't actually had a Roland synth. I mean, I've had just about every other make, but I had the TRA-S, which is their groove box drum machine type thing. So GAIA 2 supports Roland model expansions, which faithfully recreate iconic synths from our long history. It comes preloaded with the SH101, which was the first synth I ever got back in the 80s. And unfortunately I didn't keep it because it's worth a bloody fortune now. You can also get the Jupiter 8 or the 106 with a dedicated button. So there's a kind of like model expansion button. So each model expansion is fully compatible with the GAIA 2 workflow, letting you reimagine vintage sounds with the panel controls and develop new music using the sequencer. So I'm going to get the wireless adapter. So it supports iOS and Android, and it plugs in the back, and you can audition sounds straight from your phone without having to bother downloading them, putting them on a USB stick, plugging them in, loading them up and saying I don't like it. So that is brilliant. So, and it costs the same basically. So you can get this for 85 quid, and that includes a year subscription of Roland Crowd Pro, which is 85 quid on its own, so or $99. This is only supported on some of the newer stuff. So you've got the Juno X, the Jupiter X, the XM and the GAIA. They need to kind of branch this out and get more gear supported with this. Yeah. So the SH101, if you haven't seen it, that's what it looks like. So you get the model expansion pre-installed. So that's quite good. So if you think about it, that's 150 quid on its own. So, and then like I said, you can get these expansion sound packs. So you've got things like the Jupiter 8, the Poly 101, the Jupiter 8 synth with the GX8P, the Juno 106. So yeah, so there's loads of stuff you can get. You have 2 LFOs. You can assign 4 parameters to each of the LFOs, which come equipped with classic and modern wave shapes, including step modulation. So you've also got sequencer. So it doesn't say how many steps, but it's 64 step sequencer. It has some quite cool features as well. It has a kind of random pattern generator, and you have got a lot of effects as well. I think it's about 35 maybe effects. So you've got phasers, distortions, scatter, lo-fi, chorus, reverb, delay, and it has my favourite shimmer reverb. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got the motional pad. Like I said, you can use this for all sorts of things, even as like a mouse as well. So you can kind of use that for going through the kind of screen. So the motional pad is a dynamic and expressive tool that brings static sounds to life. So you can assign nearly any synth or effect parameter to each of the XY points, then morph between them by using a finger on the pad. It's also possible to record your movements to create complex modulated transformations that play on their own. So I think you get around about 12 seconds to record, and it is velocity sensitive, so you can go slow fast and it will record that motion and play it back, so you can kind of create different shapes, and it is very cool. And you get 37 full-size keys, and these actually are from the Juno X. They're certainly better than probably a lot of the kind of competition. Let's say connect to the Roland Cloud via iOS or Android. So Gaia 2 supports the Roland Cloud Connect, an optional wireless system for accessing Roland Cloud content. Simply plug in the USB adapter, then audition content and download selections into the keyboard using a dedicated app on your mobile device. So this is brilliant. I mean, it really is, and it does work pretty much, instantaneously. So that's it. We'll just have a quick look at the specs. So this is 22 voices, so you get 3 oscillators per voice. So the maximum polyphony varies depending on the sound settings or the selected model expansion. So you might not get as much with the SH101 or the Jupiter. I don't know. We would have to wait and see. You've got the Gaia 2 sound generator, which has been developed specifically for this, and then you get the pre-installed SH101. So you get 256 presets and also space for 512 user patches. So you have 63 waveforms for the wavetable, and then you have 2 virtual analog oscillators. So you have sine, triangle, saw, square, super saw, and 5 noise waves. You get shape, ring modulation, oscillator sync, cross mod, 1 and 2, and then you've got the usual envelopes. So you've got filters, low band and high pass, and then you've got the envelope, the ADSR envelope, and you've got filter drive, and then you've got an amp ADSR as well. And like I said, 2 LFOs with 5 waveforms and 1 programmable step LFO wave, and then up to 4 parameters from panel knobs and sliders, except for click dials in each LFO. So you have 53 types for multi-effects, you have 7 reverb delays, and you have chorus, 3 types, 9 modes in total. And a master EQ, master compressor, and other functions are portamento, unison, and chord memory. The step sequencer is, like I said, 64 steps, and you can have 8 notes and 4 controls per step. And then you get the classic real-time step and TREC record. So you also have probability and random pattern generator. And the ARP has just the kind of usual up, down, random, no order and scale, and it has 16 variations. The motion pad and you can adjust the phase mod and the shape mod. And you have a pitch and modulation wheel. And the display is a massive OLED at 128 by 64 dots. And then you've got loads of connectors. You've got headphone jacks. You've actually got a headphone jack at the front as well, and stereo 1/4 inch at the back. So you've got 1/4 inch outputs for the left and right. You've got a pedal jack, MIDI in out. You've got USB port type C for class compliant so it has audio MIDI, an AC adapter, and so external power supply from the USB type A port isn't available. So that is kind of it for the intro to the Gaia 2, and like I said, I will be receiving it in the next few days, so hopefully not long after this we will have a look and see what the controls are like quality wise, and listen to some sounds, hopefully better than the ones in the demo, which were quite poor. So thanks for watching, and as usual, if you are enjoying these videos, please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you in the next one.